You wake up, drenched in sweat, your heart still racing, but it's not just the dream you remember. It's the feeling that lingers, a heavy, drained sensation pulling at every fiber of your being. You are asleep, but somehow you feel more exhausted than you did when you went to bed. It's as if your body has been through something intense, something that leaves you empty without any real explanation. Sound familiar? What if I told you that these dreams are far from random? That feeling of emptiness after a sexual dream isn't just a side effect of your mind letting go. It's something deeper, something more sinister at play. These dreams are not just reflections of your desires. They are battles fought on the unseen planes of your spirit. The energy you think you've lost isn't a simple byproduct of sexual release. It's far more insidious. Every time you wake up from one of these dreams, drained and confused, you're not just facing the consequences of your subconscious. You're standing at the intersection of something far bigger, a war you never asked for, yet one that continues to claim your energy. You have been unknowingly pulled into a cycle, and each time you give in, it becomes harder to break free. But here's the thing, you don't have to stay trapped in this cycle. That drain you feel, it's not the end. It's the beginning of understanding something far more profound about yourself. Stick with me, because what's coming will change how you view your dreams and your power forever. The wake-up call of unseen forces. There's a moment when you wake up from one of those vivid sexual dreams, and the weight of exhaustion feels like it's pressing down on your soul. You're not just tired, you're empty, depleted, as though something vital has been siphoned from you. It's more than physical fatigue. There's a spiritual drain, the subtle but undeniable sensation that something unseen has tapped into your very essence. This is where you begin to realize the truth. Those dreams weren't just figments of your subconscious mind playing out fantasies. They were a wake-up call, a signal that the battle you're fighting isn't just against your own desires, but against unseen forces that operate far beyond the surface. These forces, ancient and silent, work through your most vulnerable moments, your dreams. And they don't simply invade your sleep. They've been shaping your waking reality too. It's easy to dismiss these dreams as nothing more than subconscious release, something to brush off with a few passing thoughts or jokes. But beneath that surface, something deeper is happening. Your energy, your focus, your very spiritual vitality is being targeted. And it's not by accident. These unseen forces, the same ones that influence temptation, addiction, and destructive cycles, are relentless. They know where you're weak, and they use these dreams to infiltrate and drain you, stealing away your strength without you even realizing it. The moment you wake up feeling drained, confused, or unsettled, you're being called to wake up to the reality of this ongoing spiritual warfare. It's not just about sexual desires. It's about reclaiming your power, your energy, and your mind from these forces. These dreams are part of a greater strategy to keep you distracted, disempowered, and disconnected from the truth of who you really are. They want to keep you bound by weakness, unaware of the energy that's being stolen from you in your most vulnerable state. But there's a way out. Recognizing these dreams as more than just fleeting images is your first step toward breaking the chains. You've been given a wake-up. Now it's time to listen. The question is, will you reclaim your energy or continue to let it be siphoned away in the darkness? 2. The hidden war within your mind and spirit. In every dream, every fleeting thought, and every whisper of desire, there lies an invisible battle, an ongoing war within your mind and spirit. This isn't just psychological noise, it's a deep spiritual conflict. The truth is, your mind is not just a neutral space, it is the battleground for forces that seek to either empower or weaken you. The reality is far more profound than the surface-level idea that you're simply dreaming or imagining. Every moment of your life, your thoughts, your actions, your desires, is shaped by this ongoing war. The forces fighting for control over your mind and spirit are ancient and have existed for millennia. On one side, there are the forces of light, peace, and power, those that seek to help you realize your full potential. These forces encourage you to seek wisdom, to grow, and to break free from cycles of distraction and temptation. On the other side, there are the dark forces, subtle and cunning, that seek to control you, drain your energy, and keep you enslaved to your desires. These forces know that once they have your focus, once they can manipulate your desires, they can shape your future. In the case of sexual dreams, this war is even more pronounced. Sexual energy isn't just physical, it's deeply spiritual. It's the creative force that has the potential to build empires or destroy them. When this energy is misused or siphoned off by dark forces, it leaves you weak. It's not just a matter of physical release, but a spiritual exchange. The battle for your energy is real, and it takes place both in your waking life and in the dream world, where the subconscious is more vulnerable. Think of your mind as a fortress. The way you think, the way you allow yourself to be influenced, the desires you entertain, they're all invitations. When you give in to unchecked sexual fantasies or desires, you lower your defenses. You invite these darker forces in, allowing them to feed off your spiritual energy. And the result, you wake up drained, confused, and weakened, as though something vital has been taken from you. To win this battle, you must first recognize it for what it is. This is not just a war for your body, but for your soul. Understanding the forces at play, being vigilant with your thoughts, and regaining control over your desires is the first step to reclaiming your true power. The drainage of vital life force. Every time you wake up after a sexual dream, feeling like you've been physically drained, it's not just your body reacting to a fleeting desire, it's your vital life force being siphoned away. The energy you lose isn't simply tied to the sexual act itself, it's much deeper. It's a force that resides within you, connecting your mind, body, and spirit. This energy, often misunderstood, is what fuels your creativity, clarity, focus, and ultimately, your power. And when it's drained, you feel it, exhausted, depleted, disconnected from your true self. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces we possess. In its raw, unfiltered state, it holds the power to create life, to build deep connections, and to awaken our most primal instincts. However, when this energy is mishandled, whether through indulgence, uncontrolled desire, or misdirected thoughts, it loses its constructive power and becomes a force that drains us. After sexual dreams, what you feel isn't just the residue of an unconscious release. You're feeling the consequences of your energy being spent without your conscious permission. Just like how a battery loses charge after prolonged use, your life force begins to diminish when you invest it into these moments of fantasy and indulgence. The problem lies in the fact that this energy doesn't just vanish. It gets siphoned by forces you might not even be aware of. Spiritual parasites that thrive on your vulnerability, feeding off your unchecked desires. These forces keep you trapped in cycles of fantasy, addiction, and exhaustion. Each time you engage with these dreams, you become more susceptible to their pull, more disconnected from your core strength. This drain doesn't just affect your body, it seeps into your mental clarity, clouding your judgment, leaving you distracted, unfocused, and unable to perform at your highest potential. You may find yourself questioning your purpose, feeling unmotivated, or struggling to achieve your goals. It's because your vital energy, the very essence that propels you forward, is being taken from you while you sleep. The drain is not accidental. It is deliberate, a silent thief in the night that robs you of your vitality. And once you understand this, you can start to reclaim what is rightfully yours. When you learn to protect your energy, to regain control over your sexual vitality, you unlock a power within yourself that can never be taken away again. 4. The subconscious traps we don't see coming. Our subconscious mind is a powerful force, constantly shaping our thoughts, actions, and desires. But it is also a master at hiding its true intentions, particularly when it comes to our deepest urges, like those linked to sexual dreams. These dreams are more than fleeting images. They are the result of subconscious patterns, unresolved traumas, and unchecked desires that we don't always recognize. These are the subconscious traps we don't see coming, and they often leave us feeling drained and powerless when we wake up. First is the power of unresolved emotional wounds. Many people experience sexual dreams tied to past relationships or unresolved traumas. These memories, buried deep in the subconscious, continue to affect your energy without your conscious awareness. For example, a past rejection or betrayal may be playing out in your dreams, drawing on your emotional energy to relive the pain or longing you thought you had buried. The mind's way of processing these wounds can often come in the form of sexual dreams, leaving you feeling not only physically drained, but emotionally depleted as well. Next, we must address the impact of addictive thought patterns. These patterns are built over years of reinforcing specific mental habits, particularly those involving pleasure or escape. If you've spent years feeding fantasies or indulgence in unhealthy desires, the subconscious begins to rely on those thoughts for emotional relief. Sexual dreams can often be the manifestation of this addiction, a cycle your mind believes it needs to cope with stress, loneliness, or boredom. It's as if your subconscious is leading you into a trap where satisfaction is fleeting, but the drain is constant. Then there's the unhealed shame or guilt that many carry. often without realizing it. Shame over sexual desires, guilt from past actions, or internal conflicts about your identity can be buried deep in the subconscious. These emotions don't simply disappear. They fester, rising to the surface in dreams that leave you feeling worse after you wake. The unresolved guilt or shame you carry becomes a weight that pulls on your energy, making you feel hollow, disconnected, and ungrounded. Finally, let's not forget about the spiritual attacks that some may unknowingly be exposed to. The subconscious in its vulnerability is an open door to forces that can feed on your energy. Sexual dreams in this context are more than a reflection of personal desires. They are weapons used against you to weaken your spirit, leaving you feeling drained and confused. These subconscious traps don't announce themselves. They creep in, invisible to the naked eye. But once you recognize them, you gain the power to reclaim your energy, take control of your mind, and break free from their grip. 5. The spiritually disruptive nature of sexual energy. Sexual energy is one of the most powerful forces within the human experience, yet its disruptive potential is often underestimated. When harnessed, it has the ability to create life, to manifest deep connection, and to fuel incredible creativity. However, when uncontrolled or misdirected, this energy becomes a double-edged sword, capable of spiritual destruction. This is where its disruptive nature takes root. When we fail to understand its deeper implications, it disrupts not only our physical bodies, but our spiritual balance as well. At its core, sexual energy is creation energy. It's the force that drives procreation, intimacy, and connection. But this same energy, if not carefully managed, can slip into the realm of pure lust and uncontrolled desire. Lust isn't just about physical satisfaction. It's an urge that, when left unchecked, can pull the soul into the realm of darkness. It twists desire into an addiction, a force that demands to be fed, without regard for the damage it causes. When this happens, sexual energy becomes a drain on the soul. It no longer nourishes, it devours. The disruption occurs because sexual energy, when misused, creates an imbalance within us. It pulls us out of alignment with our higher self. We become distracted, overwhelmed by impulses that cloud our judgment and dull our spiritual clarity. It is no longer about connection or creation. It becomes an internal force fighting for dominance over our mind and spirit. Like an uncontrolled wildfire, it spreads, devouring peace, clarity, and purpose. This disruption is not limited to the physical world. It reaches deep into our emotional and spiritual lives. The power of sexual energy can tear apart relationships, distort self-image, and leave one feeling hollow or unfulfilled, no matter how much external pleasure is gained. It becomes a parasite feeding on the essence of who we are, reducing us to mere vessels of fleeting satisfaction. What is most dangerous, however, is that this disruption is often silent. It doesn't announce itself as destructive. It masquerades as pleasure, as a harmless indulgence. But the longer we allow our sexual energy to run unchecked, the more profound the spiritual The drain we feel after a sexual dream is a reminder of this imbalance. It is a subtle warning that what we have invited into our spirit may not be as innocent as it seems. Reclaiming this energy and using it consciously, with respect for its power, is the key to restoring spiritual balance. Only then can we truly experience its creative and life-affirming potential. 6. The silent thieves of focus and purpose. Every day, you wake up with a sense of purpose, a desire to conquer the day and achieve your goals. But then something happens. The weight of distraction begins to settle in. It starts small, an idle thought, a fleeting desire, and before you know it, you're sidetracked. Your energy and focus are no longer aligned with your higher purpose, and you find yourself wandering in a haze of confusion and fatigue. What if I told you that there are unseen forces quietly stealing this energy, turning your drive into dust? These silent thieves are more dangerous than any physical distraction because they're often subtle, insidious, and silent. They don't scream for your attention. Instead, they lure you in, piece by piece, until your focus is lost and your purpose becomes unclear. One of the most significant of these thieves is unchecked sexual energy. When you allow your mind to indulge in fantasies, desires, or unresolved sexual urges, you're opening the door to something that will gradually siphon off your mental, emotional, and spiritual resources. You may not feel it immediately, but after days, weeks, or even years of ignoring your energy's true potential, you begin to notice a shift. Your concentration falters, your passion fades, and your ability to focus on your goals diminishes. The things that once excited you no longer hold the same spark. This is the silent work of these thieves, slowly draining you of your essence. The problem is that many people don't even realize they're being robbed. Sexual fantasies and distractions don't always seem like major problems, but their cumulative effect is undeniable. Every time you indulge, you're giving away a part of yourself. Every moment spent in these fantasies is a moment stolen from the pursuit of your purpose, from the clear focus you need to achieve greatness. These thieves don't just steal your mental energy, they weaken your spirit. They turn your attention inward, focusing on short-term gratification instead of long-term fulfillment. You may think you're just momentarily indulging, but in reality, you're robbing yourself of clarity, self-control, and a sense of direction. They erode your mental fortitude, leaving you susceptible to doubt and indecision, keeping you from being the powerful, focused individual you were meant to be. To regain your strength and reclaim your focus, you must confront these silent thieves head-on. Understanding that these distractions are not harmless is the first step. Your focus, your purpose, and your inner power are too valuable to let them be stolen away, piece by piece. It's time to take back what's yours. 7. The victory of the chosen ones who break free. The victory of the chosen ones who break free from the draining cycle of sexual dreams is not just about resisting temptation, it's about reclaiming your spiritual energy and stepping into your true power. The ones who rise above this cycle are those who understand that they are in control, not merely victims of their desires or their subconscious. They realize that every choice they make, every thought they entertain, has the potential to either enslave them or set them free. Being free begins with one fundamental truth. Mastery over your mind and desires is not just possible, it's essential. The key is awareness. Those who are able to step out of the fog of confusion and realize that these dreams are not just innocent desires, but manifestations of unseen forces can begin the journey of transformation. They recognize that each sexual dream that drains them is not an isolated event, but a wake-up call, a chance to realign themselves with their highest purpose. The victory comes when they stop allowing these dreams to define them. Instead of feeling defeated or guilty, they use these experiences as stepping stones to spiritual growth. They begin to question their patterns and behaviors, understanding that these dreams are often a reflection of unresolved trauma, unchecked desires, or imbalances in their energy. By confronting these hidden aspects of themselves, they are able to purge the negative influences that perpetuate the drain. Those who break free also understand the power of discipline. They commit to controlling their energy, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. They no longer allow themselves to be ruled by fleeting pleasures or unconscious desires. Instead, they channel their energy into purposeful actions that serve their higher goals, whether it's pursuing their passions, building meaningful relationships, or deepening their spiritual practice. The victory of the chosen ones is not just about overcoming dreams, but about a complete transformation of self. They rise with clarity, strength, and purpose. They learn to trust themselves, to stand firm in their spiritual sovereignty, and to move through the world with a sense of empowerment. The ones who break free from the drain become creators of their destiny, rather than passive participants in a cycle of depletion. And in that victory, they discover a deeper, more lasting fulfillment than any fleeting pleasure could ever offer. The call to transcendence, breaking free from the grip. There comes a moment in every struggle where you must decide, stay trapped in the cycle, or rise above it. The choice is never easy, but it's always yours. When you awaken after sexual dreams, feeling drained and confused, it's not just your body responding, it's your spirit calling out to you, begging you to break free. The grip of these forces can feel suffocating, but it doesn't have to define you. Transcendence begins with recognizing that you don't have to remain a prisoner of your desires, your dreams, or the energy they drain from you. To break free is to see beyond the illusion. It's understanding that these dreams aren't just random reflections of your subconscious. They are invitations into a deeper, unseen conflict. The forces that want to keep you in cycles of desire, confusion, and fatigue thrive on your ignorance. They want you to believe that you're helpless, that these dreams are just a part of life you have no control over. But this is a lie. The path to transcendence starts with awareness. The first step is recognizing that you have the power to resist. Just as an army fights to hold its ground, so too can you fight the unseen forces pulling at your energy. Your sexual energy, your vitality, is a treasure, not to be squandered on fleeting moments of satisfaction that leave you empty and vulnerable. Breaking free from this grip isn't about denying yourself pleasure. It's about regaining control over what belongs to you. It's about discipline and consciousness, the ability to direct your energy toward things that empower you, rather than allowing it to be siphoned away in the shadows of your dreams. You don't need to fight against yourself, you need to fight for yourself. Take back your focus. Take back your clarity. Take back your power. The key to transcendence is learning to turn away from the fleeting, draining pull of these dreams, and instead channel that energy into something higher, something lasting, whether through prayer, meditation, or sheer willpower. The choice is yours. You have everything you need within you to rise above, to step into your true strength, and to reclaim the energy that is rightfully yours. The moment you choose transcendence, you step into a new reality, one where you no longer live at the mercy of your dream. Instead, you become the master of your own fate. 9. The ultimate revelation. While you wake up drained, the ultimate revelation lies in understanding that the drain you feel after sexual dreams is not simply a physical or emotional byproduct. It's a spiritual phenomenon. Your energy isn't just being depleted by the dream itself, it's being siphoned off by forces that exist beyond the material world. These forces are targeting something much deeper than your body. They're after your soul, your essence, your very life force. At the core of this experience is the nature of sexual energy. It's one of the most powerful forces in your being. When used consciously, it can fuel creation, vitality, and empowerment. But when it's unleashed without intention, when it's consumed by impulse or subconscious desires, it becomes a weapon used against you. Sexual energy is meant to be a force of personal mastery, not something to be exploited for fleeting gratification. But in these dreams, when control slips, your energy is stolen from you. You wake up feeling drained because something has fed off your vitality during your sleep. This drain is not accidental. It's a spiritual transaction. The dreams you experience often emerge from unresolved inner conflicts, traumas, or addictions to certain desires. These unresolved energies manifest in your dreams, taking form as an illusion of pleasure. Yet this illusion comes at a cost, leaving you tired, confused, and spiritually depleted. The real question is, what is the cost of allowing these forces to take hold? As C.S.LEWIS once suggested, our desires are often the battleground for greater forces. Sexual desires, when left unchecked, open doors to realms of influence you might not even be aware of. These dreams are a subtle form of energy theft, tapping into your unconscious mind, exploiting vulnerabilities, and preventing you from stepping fully into your true power. When you wake up feeling drained, it's not just a tired body, it's a tired spirit. What's taken isn't just a momentary release, it's a piece of your potential, a fragment of your energy that could have been used to elevate you, to move you toward your higher purpose. The deeper truth is this: you are not a victim of your dreams, but rather an individual who has the ability to reclaim your energy, take back control, and use your vitality for creation, not consumption. The ultimate revelation is understanding this power and taking back what has been silently stolen. 10. The final empowering call. Embrace your power. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the moment when you realize that everything you've been through, the confusion, the drain, the endless cycles, is not where your story ends, it's where it begins. This is your final call to step into the power that's always been within you, waiting for you to claim it. You've faced the battles, the temptations, the draining forces, and now you must choose to rise, stronger than ever. You were never meant to be a passive participant in your own life. The moment you wake up to the truth of what has been draining you, that's when your real power begins to awaken. The energy you've been losing is not just something to reclaim, it's something to transmute. You are not a victim of your desires, you are the master of your own destiny. Every moment of clarity, every decision to break free, builds a stronger version of yourself. Embrace this truth. The key to overcoming the drain is not in fighting against the desires, but in mastering them. When you understand the nature of what's been pulling at you, you begin to see it for what it is: a distraction, a force meant to keep you stuck in cycles of weakness. But once you see through it, once you stand firm in your own resolve, you will find the strength to rise above. Your power lies in your choices. You are no longer a slave to your subconscious urges. You are free to direct your energy where it will build you up, not break you down. This isn't just about abstaining from something. It's about embracing the higher calling of who you are. The person who chooses to take control, to defend their energy, to stand tall in the face of temptation. This is not an easy path, but it's the only one that leads to true empowerment. Now is the time to unlock the power within you. Every step you take towards mastery over yourself brings you closer to your highest potential. The life force that has been stolen from you can be reclaimed, transmuted into something greater. Strength, clarity, focus. You are capable of far more than you've realized. The drain you once felt is now your fuel, propelling you forward into the highest version of yourself. Conclusion: embrace your power. and let it guide you to the life you were meant to live. This is your moment to rise. The journey you've just begun is one of profound transformation. The dreams that once drained you, leaving you confused and exhausted, no longer have the power to control you. What you've learned today is that those moments of weakness are not just accidents. They are part of a deeper battle for your energy, your focus, and ultimately your soul. You have the power to change that. As you step forward, remember it's not the desires that define you, but how you respond to them. Mastery over your energy, over your thoughts, and over your actions is within your reach. The drain you once felt can be turned into your greatest source of strength. Every choice you make to rise above temptation, to reclaim your energy, brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. You were not born to be a passive observer in this world. You were born to shape it, to move with purpose, and to live with unshakable clarity. The energy within you is boundless, and it's time to awaken it. So take that step, embrace your power. The world awaits the version of you who chooses to rise, unstoppable, unshakable, and fully aligned with your true purpose.